Back to my channel. It's your girl Tash, and today we're going to be cooking up some ackee and saltfish. Yes, we're doing a national dish. We're doing it big too because we're doing cooked food. So on the stove we have two pots. We have one for saltfish. The larger one is for the ackee and the smaller one is for the saltfish. So I had to switch up the water in the smaller pot because I forgot that I wasn't going to cook food in the first clip, and the saltfish is already salted. I'm trying to reduce the salt. So here you can see me putting my ackee into the pot. I'm sorry if the clips look a little wobbly, a little woggly, or whatever it's called, a little wobbly. But you merge the ackee into the pot, and the way you know that the ackee is cooked, it's gonna start looking like a little milky in the pot, and you're gonna see it start like separating. So in the next pot, just merge your saltfish in, and the saltfish, you do it to preference. There is no like right way or wrong way to boil your saltfish. You can soak it overnight if you want to, or if you want to do it like me and just boil it and do it several times and just switch out the water in each step, you can do that as well. So here I have my ground provisions. So the ground provisions that I'll be using today is banana and plantain. So I had two plantains. One is going to be fried and one is going to be boiled. So with my banana and with all ground provisions, you're going to wash your produce. I don't care if it's already clean to your eyes already. We wash our produce over here, safety first. So after washing all the bananas, I'm going to slice them. So my method may be different from yours, especially if any Jamaicans are watching this video. You might look at me like weird. So you cut the top, you slit it all the way down, and you cut the bottom of it. So you're gonna see me doing that, and when I'm done doing all of that, so my mother's method, or the old school Jamaican method, is to submerge cooking oil or vegetable oil on your hands and to remove the skin. The skin is very stainy, as well as doing that method can be very dangerous with holding a knife, because you have a slippery adhesive on your hand to prevent the stain from the banana to get onto your hands. I'm trying to explain it the best way possible for people that have never, you didn't grow up in a Jamaican culture, have never heard about this recipe, so, or even about green bananas. So you're going to, so this in this clip I'm just checking on my ackee, making sure that it's not too soft, it's cooking at the desired temperature, and I'm just going to let it stay like for another 5 minutes. This ackee was cooked for like 15 to 25 minutes, and then you strain the water and let it rest. So back to my ground produce. So yes, with my mother's method, they put cooking vegetable oil, whatever you want to call it, on their hands, and they remove the skin thoroughly. And as you can see, even with the sweet plantain, I won't be removing the skin because this method is easier for me. And when I do put it in the pot, I'm just gonna add some vegetable oil to the pot to help with the stain that the banana exudes while cooking. And you know, this is easy breezy, this is beginner friendly, this is for the people out there that love Jamaican cuisines, want to try it, never tried it. And if you are even a Jamaican, grew up and you don't really see your parents cooking and you need a good recipe, this is the one for you. I got you. Okay, so in this clip right here you can see me cutting up some veggies. So I have a tomato, a scotch bonnet pepper, and a piece of onion. So this is what's going to flavor that ackee and saltfish, give it a little color, as well as the taste and the aroma and all of that good stuff that's gonna blend and merge all the flavors to making the ackee so delicious. This is a recipe that doesn't really call for much spice, so as you can see, I won't be adding much ingredients or seasonings and a lot of spice. You just need just like half of the scotch bonnet pepper, if not less. And you do this to taste as well. Some people may do it differently. I will not comment on anybody else's method. This is my method. This is what works for me. It was delicious and delightful, and I'm telling you, if you are a beginner and have never done this, this is the way to go. So in a pot on the stove, you merge your food, add that vegetable oil that I told you about, and let that do its thing. And when it's, just check on it, and you will know when the food is cooked. You're gonna see like the skin like removing itself from the actual food. So the plantain that I've been talking about, my fried plantain, this is so good, Ackee. So that's a ripe plantain that I cut up and fried, and this is just perfect. Like, you can eat it with bread, you can just eat it, you can eat it with Johnny cakes. Johnny cakes are fried doughs that we do as Jamaicans. It is so good. It's so good, and it's sweet. So even like young kids that may be picky, they always opt for options like this, and it is so good. So in a skillet on the stove, you had a little oil, let it get to temperature, and then you had some onions. The onions that we chopped up earlier, we had it to the pot and let that caramelize down. So in the meantime, I strained my saltfish. It was all cooked and was at the desired taste. You know, you have to just remove a little small section of it, taste it, so it's not too fresh or it's not, thick with salt. So when the onion is caramelized, we can go ahead and put in our saltfish. But before we put in our saltfish, I have to show you how I pick it apart. So with the saltfish, you put it to rest so that it's not hot and burning your hands when you're picking it apart. And we have to pick it apart because saltfish is a fish and it has bones in it. So you pick it apart and you try to like remove the bones. And this saltfish that I got, it was, I forgot the name of the brand. However, it had minimal bones in it, and I really really was happy because they have a wide variety. You can go to any Jamaican store. I think even Publix have saltfish. Most stores carry a section for Caribbean or island cuisine, so just go in there, ask them, and they'll guide you on which one to purchase. But there's like no right way and wrong way, to buy a saltfish, to cook a saltfish. Like, some steps are just straightforward. So there's my onion all sauteed and ready for the saltfish. So I'm just going to merge the saltfish into the pot, and I'm gonna also add the Scotch bonnet pepper as well. So you're gonna see me holding off on the tomatoes just a little bit, because the tomato has like a more liquidy consistency, and I want to saute these and infuse these flavors together rather than to let it simmer down. And I hope I'm making this very clear. So if you're a beginner and you don't know like how long I should keep the saltfish in the pot for, just let it stay in the pot to like 2 to 3 minutes, just merging the flavors, like get everything infused with one another. And you can even taste it. You can add, if you want to start adding your seasonings now. As the clip prolongs, you're gonna see me adding my seasonings of choice. But the saltfish is already boiled, it's already cooked, so it's edible. You're just infusing the flavors right now. And when the saltfish is all right and ready, we're just going to put our ackee. So our ackee was resting, and that's what it looks like, sitting for a little bit, but it's gonna come back to life. We're gonna get everything ready and right. So first things first, we're gonna add that to our saltfish. And because the ackee is a very soft fruit, yes, ackee is a fruit, because it's very soft, you don't want to be stirring it too much. So I waited a little bit, make sure that the pot is on low to medium heat, and I waited a little bit and then I start adding my tomato, and as the video goes on you're gonna see me adding my black pepper and paprika. Those are the two main seasonings that I put that are not really ground provisions per se or from the hurt. And yes, it's very easy breezy, very simple, and the ingredients you don't have to like buy them outside. Like most of them you should already have them in your kitchen. I'm not talking like for the saltfish and stuff like that, I'm talking like the seasonings. That's just me adding my black pepper. And just be wise with the amount you put. You don't want to put too much, because it's better to had more to taste than to overly had too much and have an excess of it. And that's just that's a tricky one right there, because you can't remove it. So you just try to stir it minimal, because the ackee is already soft, it's going to be breaking apart, and you don't want to get it mushy and like porridge like. A lot of people, that's maybe their preference, but for me, this is how I like it. I like it to have texture, dimension. You see that little red in it? I didn't have any bell peppers to give it that, that extra pop in the pot. However, it was still delicious and it was still, you know, gorgeous. Look at that. So just put a lid over it and let it sit for like 2 to 3 minutes on low to medium heat. And if you have anything else you need to do, you can go ahead and do it. For me, I was undecisive if I wanted to cook boiled dumplings, so I went ahead and yes, I did it. I wanted to go all out for you guys. I didn't get any clips of it. However, that's what it looks like in the pot. It's just flour, a little cornmeal, a little salt merged together with water, and I made the dough, and that's the final product. That's what it looks like. It's delicious. And that's the plantains right there. I started eating the plantains, guys. This is from my kitchen to yours. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, stay blessed. Bye.